The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to Propaganda. Dan here, along with Michael and Moscow White, as we dive into clips in the world of football this week. The show is brought to you by Levi's Solicitors, who are a Leeds-based law firm, but don't let that stop you. Do you know why?
Because they've got a website.
Website services from all over the country. All over the world, maybe, if you need to indulge in English law.
Yeah. And you can get your wills, your probate, your conveyancing. You can get lasting powers of attorney stuff done. Residential property disputes, if you fancy one of them, get in touch with them.
But just start scrapping with your neighbour and...
I mean, try not to keep it amicable, but, you know, not always possible, is it?
No. So if you need some sensible folks to intervene, and with a 10% discount on your legal fees, levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Thank you very much to Levi's for their support, despite everything. Where are we going with the clips then this week, Michael? What should we start with? Lots has happened, actually, in football, hasn't it?
Yeah, although the Scum game wasn't as fun as it was looking at one point, because I think the meltdown from that would have been spectacular. But as it was, they all just went, we're not very good, are we? But still, at least we got through.
It was probably the perfect result in the end. 2-0 up, throw it away, look atrocious, win, so they still can't sack him.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing.
they can't really do anything off the back of that because it's like, well, we got through. And there's all the stuff as well with like Rashford just being like, don't really fancy this thing, I'll just go out on the piss in Belfast instead. So it's just another great week for their football club all over.
Yeah. So there's no Scum, because there was obviously some shouting and carrying on from the live streams, but it's, you know, the usual suspects. We've kind of heard it before. It was not genuine angst because they won, didn't they? So whatever. So we're going to go back in time. Do you remember Preston's manager?
Are we going to hop in the DeLorean?
He was a nice guy, wasn't he?
Oh, I really liked him.
Had loads of good things to say about it.
Yeah.
So it's a week on, is this? This is ahead of the Millwall game, which they drew at the weekend. And he's very much going down the Frank Lampard route of not talking about the stuff that happened.
Yeah,
before.
I'm not bothered by any of this, but it just needs to be said that,
Yeah.
A decision which, looking back at now, and I haven't seen the view from a different angle, where we've felt it's hit Rye's knee and gone up and hit his arm, and you know, he hasn't stopped the goal scoring opportunity. But again, mate, the rules change week in, week out, don't they, on handballs, and what is an handball and what isn't. So I get it's tough. The refs have to make a decision. I went in and seen Webby at the end of it. He was fine. He was a good guy, and we had a chat about it.
It's just a difficult listen, isn't it?
So he's kind of going, I've not seen all the angles.
Well, he's sort of saying that he has, but then he hasn't. He was like, looking back at it, I haven't seen any other angles. So has he looked back at it, or is he just looking back at it in my imagination where it didn't hit his hand?
Yeah, that's basically it. I have seen now the replays that show it was handball, but I didn't like that.
Yeah, disregarding all those.
So I'm going to choose to still be annoyed by this. So he's given a chance here to address this point by a journalist who's offering him a route out of this. Is it or isn't a handball thing?
It is worth stressing. Every comment on this from him seems to be met by Preston fans going, it was handball, just shut up. So I think I'm glad people are trying to guide him back to the truth and the light.
But it's your classic, 2023, 2024 style doubling down. I just can't. Do you know what? I've seen it again and I got it wrong. You can't do that anymore. You've got to double down on your opinion and say, I was right.
Would you, in hindsight, look at this one and say that is added to the list, or would you look at it and say maybe not?
Looking back at it, mate, I spent some time with Daniel, our manager, at the end, and he was like, that he'd be disappointed if it went against him, but when it goes for you, you're happy. And I'd only seen that the one footage, and Rye was convinced it hit him, and the wind that blew up on him, so I have to go with what my player says. Rye still feels it felt him and went up him because of the wind. Looking back at it in hindsight, again, you'd have to come out, don't you, to the press, and I was, how the way excuse was really, and I was like, I'm disappointed in it. I felt it winning handball at the time. Did it his hand, but again, mate, some you get, some you don't. And, from my point of view, it looked like it rolled up Rye's leg, his thigh, and hit his arm, which then shouldn't be a pen.
What did he just say? Was that English?
It's the wind.
Is he blaming the wind?
The fucking wind's in on it. It's the wind and the referees.
And I can imagine because what he said about what Daniel said after the game, and it wasn't either of us, so I don't know who he was speaking to, but that Daniel said, he wouldn't have liked that to have happened to him. I'm sure he's like, sounds, The wind blew the ball onto his arm. Sounds, I'd really hate if that had happened to me. Good job it didn't happen to you as well, wasn't it, Ryan?
Mind you did see the wind kept blowing the ball out of the quadrant for the corners, didn't it? So the wind was very influential.
But we don't even need to deal with this on the level of stupidity he's dragging to. But if the wind had caught a shot, remember Stephen Warnock against Yeovil?
Yes.
When he just launched a free kick into the box, the wind got it and he goes into the top corner and he immediately put his hand up as if he'd meant it. Stephen Warnock's not going to say, oh, well, the wind got that, no goal. So if the wind blows the ball onto your hand, handball. It's the same thing. And the other thing to take from that is I like the slightly tired air of that journal going like...
On reflection.
So is this going on the list? Is this another one on your list, Ryan? Because the list is getting pretty long, Ryan. We've been hearing a lot about this list all season. Is this the list again? It's like, well, it's not quite the list, but I might put it on the list because he's got a new list of wind incidents, because it was bad enough dealing with the refs, but now I've got to deal with Mother Nature.
Hey, Daniel, can I talk to you about that handball, mate? Yes, it was unfortunate, of course. I'd speak to you later, Ryan. Have a good evening.
Yes, if it happened to me, I'd be very upset.
Yeah, just
trying to mollify him.
Very clearly, just fuck off and speak to someone else about the wind. He's not even
staggering around the corridors of Elland Road like King Lear.
This is the cut down version of him moaning about this as well. He seems confused as well. He's like he keeps going on. He mentioned this post game and then he mentioned it again here, saying it wasn't denying a goal scoring opportunity or anything. So, but that's not what a penalty is. A penalty is just a foul in a box. That's all it is.
Yeah, you could be on the... I mean, we've discussed the shape of the penalty area and whether, people talk about whether a foul on the goal line where you're not going to score from. I could go over there and kick you in the face and the referee will probably say, right...
In the face?
In the face, that's a penalty. It doesn't matter if it's a goal scoring opportunity or not. I've kicked the player in the face. Or the ball... Or I could just jump on the ball with my hands and I'm not the goalkeeper and just pick it up and throw it.
That's handball, that.
Well,
not if the wind it's off his thigh and it's windy.
Maybe I can just say, well, the ball blew into my hands and I just happened to throw it and it wasn't a goal-scoring opportunity. So what are we worried about? This happened at school, actually, which is the level we're at. I remember this kid in a game we were playing in the playground. It hit his hand and so we went handball. He went, oh, we're not playing for handball. So another kid just picked the ball up and threw it in the goal. That right? Goal. Brilliant. We're playing rugby.
It's William Webb Ellis. Congratulations. Right, should we move on?
Yeah, go on.
Because Ryan Lowe is unable to. Yeah, go on then. Where are we going?
We'll cover off Plymouth first because it's a bit of a nothing game.
What an inconvenience.
I know. There was a little bit of stuff they were barely discussing the game. Really, they were pleased enough. They should have been further behind. They came back. They were quite pleased with it. They quite fancy some games in the cup because they're sort of in the mid-table bit.
Yeah, well done. Hope you enjoy it. Here you go.
They're fine. Anyway, this is them discussing. They're discussing the draw anyway after it's been made, and then their prospects in the replay.
Look, we've got to get past Leeds first, haven't we? Which I think there's every chance we will do. To be clear, we're a very good home team. They're a team who. I'm not going to say they're a bad away team, but they're much weaker away than what they are at home. They're not going to be rushing back the likes of James, Gray, Somerville from injuries for a cup game, are they? They've got a promotion to win. And so even if those players are technically fit enough to play, they'll probably at best be on the bench, I would have thought. I think they will go a rotated team. If you look at the Leeds fans on Twitter, or X as we're now calling it, they're not terribly excited about the prospect. I mean, they just had 2 seasons in a row going to Chelsea in the league and Villa, obviously.
Right. I've got FOTMob open. With the away league table.
Oh, yes.
We are the 4th best away side in this division.
Well, it's not great.
I know it's not the
Why
league.
are we always hammering our team about Farker can't do it away? It's been figured out. He'll never get us out of this division. We're useless.
I'll tell you why. The problem is because Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton are the 3 that are above us. That's why it's a problem, Moscow. That's why people get upset and angry. As for home form, let's have a look. Plymouth Argyle, 6th best in the league. Yeah, I know it's not the league. It's the cup.
Where are we?
We are top of the league.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just proves that they could draw with us, even though our home form is excellent.
Because we're pathetic.
It's almost like the whole home-away split is a bit nonsensical, but it depends. I mean, it could be even windier down in Plymouth. What do we think about the draw?
Whatever.
It does make the point. It does feel like we've played those teams recently.
Yeah, Chelsea's a potential banana skin, isn't it? You don't want to lose to a smaller team like that,
etc.,
and so on and so forth.
If we do have Diego Llorente back, they can whistle at him again or shriek at him as they did in. They used the one game that they were allowed to watch in person during COVID to make silly noises, didn't they? The Chelsea fans
Grow up.
Yeah, and I don't think they have. But yeah,
the
Chelsea,
chance to engage with Rory though might be fun. You see.
I mean, define fun. Chelsea are beatable. I think the problem with Villa is it brings up the old we should have got Unai Emery in the first place kind of.
Too expensive, Moscow. Too
thing.
expensive.
Well,
get more money.
If we put it to bed, yeah, get more money, and then it's fine.
It's one of those things, isn't it? If you think it's expensive to employ an expert, wait until you employ an amateur and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cost a lot of money.
Buy cheap, buy twice, I think is the phrase that you've been trying to crack for the last 3 weeks.
Actually,
have you watched it?
I was going to say the masterclass. Is that what you're going to ask about,
yes,
Jesse?
I was going to say, have you watched it?
I watched it all from start to finish. How he tactically undid Liverpool. Yeah,
it needs more. I did watch it for this, but
should we do a full show on it?
It probably needs a full show because have you watched it, Moscow?
I'm saving that particular pleasure.
Yeah,
he kind of caveats it at the start and the end by saying, there was a lot of luck.
I'm a total dickhead.
There was a lot of luck in the game.
If that's not the caveat, then he's selling.
But do you know what? If there
selling it wrong,
we'll do this when we do the actual show itself. But in mitigation, the only mitigation is if he'd done a little bit more of this instead of flapping his gums about stress and things like that and talking about being a vibes guy, then you might have gone, oh, do you know what? He's actually got some ideas. They might be terrible ideas, but at least he's got some ideas.
It's all retrofitted. I reckon if you spoke to the players about that game and what was told to them before the game, I don't think half of this stuff was probably came across. It was my impression.
Well, my big takeaway from it was thinking, now I see the plan and it kind of worked against Liverpool, even though they should have probably won that game because they had loads more chances than us and Meslier kept us in the game.
It should have been Ilan Meslier should be doing that video.
Yeah, and also it wasn't our opening goal. The opening goal was just because they gifted it as well.
Yeah,
wasn't
they passed it to Rodrigo in the
but he claims that was as a result of their targeted pressing, wasn't it? But
it wasn't. Everyone does that. Everyone closes goalkeepers down. It was lucky that
they said they wanted to give Joe Gomez the ball, and he was the one who made the error. But I was going to say the thing I took away from it was thinking it's the unsaid things that kind of jumped out at me. Like, for example, he talks about the way that they swarm over towards the ball and they want to be compact.
Yeah, the big space at the other side.
The big space at the other side. Exactly that. The one that Crystal Palace. So we had the run of them, didn't we, in that game, the Crystal Palace game. First half, we were really good up to a point where I think Palace equalised against us, didn't they? And then in the second half, they just chipped it past that swarm. Like, just knocked it over it. Very, really basic bitch football.
Yeah. It worked against Liverpool. Didn't work for the other 37 games or whatever he was in charge of.
It sounds like a 20-minute version of pretty much with examples of the webinar I watched when he took over, which is very much the same thing. And because he had a bunch of coaches on the screen and on the call with him, asking him questions. There was the question of like, so we've got everybody on this side pressing one winger. What happens if they just cross it to the other side? Is this, we just stop them doing that.
But what if they do?
Yeah, so this is why I'm not exactly rushing to watch that masterclass, because I get the feeling it's just going to be a 20-minute version of something that annoyed me before he'd even got here and managed a game. Anywho.
But it genuinely is interesting to see the tactical breakdown, but also to take away from its strengths, but its glaring weaknesses.
Let's see him do a tactical breakdown of us getting beaten. That would have been more interesting.
Yes.
Rather than picking one of his rare fluky wins.
But yeah,
he owes to Ilan Meslier and Crescencio Somerville.
And
also Pat Bamford not controlling the ball properly in the penalty areas, and then it bounced to Somerville to finish in the first place.
If we ignore the fact that both goals we scored in that game were complete flukes.
Yeah. I'd prefer, if I want a masterclass, I would like the masterclass of Crescencio Somerville, how he managed to sneak away to Holland and have a birthday party and what that was like. That's a 20-minute video I would watch. And he's probably got the footage because I don't know if he's still in that mode, but he went through that little era of having a film crew following him on holiday and stuff. I'd love to see all that, and he can talk us through it and where they went and who was there and what presents he got and how much fun they had and what the private jet was like and all that kind of stuff, and how they did it, and the bit where I'd love to see the footage of Jesse saying like, now I know it's your birthday and you just scored the winning goal, but stay in Leeds. Like, okay. And then just cut airport. That's the masterclass I want to watch.
He told me to look over there was the problem, and I fell for it. Yeah. And then he ran. And then I looked that way.
I was pressing one wing, and I didn't realise he was free on the other side where the airport is.
We'd all gone over there. Right. Back to it then. Let's do a full special deep dive on that. I think it deserves it, doesn't it? Yeah. Should we get Robin for that one, or do you want to do it?
Moscow gets more angry about Jesse, so
your angle will be more engaging, I think.
Why would we put him through it? Poor Rob.
Right.
Poor me.
Let's
Poor
go
us.
to where, Michael?
Let's go back in time again.
Oh, yeah.
We'll hear from... We've got a neutral's view of the...
Have we got enough petrol in the DeLorean for
the
this?
Norwich. Yeah, it's still going. It's uranium, isn't it?
Oh, it's powered by, yeah.
But anyway...
Is it 1.21 gigawatts we need in it?
We need the Millwall guy back to go, Great Scott! As he was doing the other week, which is good. The Pinkin. This is after the Norwich game, obviously. Spoke to some people outside the West Stand. They were all just fairly sensible, a bit like this guy.
Disappointing game. Like, I don't think we offered enough in that. We had a spell second half with the ball, but no penetration. And it either had a chance, but just couldn't take it. So, Leeds were a better team. They have to win. Disappointing.
Is it encouraging at all that Norwich had so much of it and sort of were close, or do you think at this level Norwich should be expecting to get at least a result from most games?
Yeah, I just think it's hard for Norwich fans at the minute to see what the game plan is. And I think like we have got players of individual quality, but just didn't offer enough penetration. I thought, to be fair, Leeds were really solid. And like when Farker was at Norwich, we were guilty of being slack at the back, but attacking really well. And he's obviously got Leeds really solid.
They just want to love Daniel Farker, don't they?
I think so, and he just wanted some bloody penetration that night.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Farker at the end of that game? Because the
I'm not
Norwich,
sure we did.
Because the Norwich fans, we might have mentioned it briefly at the end of the match, but I've got a memory of myself saying it now. But because the Norwich fans were in the top tier, and then the paddock was Leeds fans in the West Stand. If you remember at Norwich, he said, "Oh no, I have too much respect for this club. You know, we beat them. I'm not going to do the wait thing."
But he didn't he? At Ellen Road?
Well, he went over to them at the end, and he waved at the Norwich fans at the back, and then went wait, and the ones down the front, and then a little wave at the back of them. He was like, "Sorry about this, but I'm just going to talk to my new friends." On which related subject, whatever was going on in the background of that clip sounded a lot funnier than the guy who was actually talking. I wasn't really listening to him saying like penetration and balls, but because
penetration and balls,
there was a lot of laughter.
Don't put the balls in.
There was a lot of laughter at the back. A lot.
Do you not reckon? Try and avoid that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on in the background.
A lot of laughter, and I wanted to know what they were all enjoing.
But it's just LS11, isn't it?
Would you have gone full strict teacher on it? Do you want to share the joke?
Yeah, basically. Well, you know, if you're doing one of these YouTube things on the spot outside the West Stand, and you're talking to a guy who's pretty boring, and there's all this hilarity, it's like, do you guys want to come over and be funny on the camera? Because this guy's a bit dry.
Anyway, someone who really enjoyed that game, because I think we were a bit, it was a bit of a bog standard midweek win, wasn't it? Fine. Whatever.
We've changed in a year.
We were lacking enthusiasm for it. The Hull boy, however.
The Hull boy,
who's a Hull fan, as you would imagine. He's a neutral, and he was attending this game.
Is this our new youth project? You know, we've basically started a young person's like content creation. Is it almost like a scheme where we're improving young content creators? Because obviously we've helped that
Cardiff City
child.
Did you watch his latest video?
I didn't know.
I watched it. He went to watch a non-league game in Wales and was really, really enthusiastic about it as well. He was like, "Oh, it's such a good game. We've seen 2 goals already." He was loving it. The Hull boy is older, so I don't think we probably don't get any government funding for helping this lad out.
Does he drink cans of Coke in the post office?
Don't know the reference.
That's what people from Hull like to say they're doing, isn't it?
Can of Kirk in the post office.
Can of Kirk in the post office.
Yes, of course. Five cans. He doesn't have a particular Hully accent either, but he is very enthusiastic. This is his intro for his video.
A battle of 2 giants. Yorkshire takes on Norfolk. Leeds take on the Canaries as 2 teams battling for promotion take each other on halfway through the championship. Today will be loud, atmospheric, and certainly a game to remember. But after the 90th minute, which team will bring home all 3 points?
Yes, today is massive as Leeds United take on Norwich City.
He's keen, isn't he? He's like the Sky Sports intros, isn't he?
He's about as hot with...
It's Burnley versus Watford. Who will triumph?
Hot with the music as he get at Elland Road sometimes. It was like random bursts of marching on together for no reason. Tell him with the Peacocks, if you're doing an improvement scheme, because you missed Peacocks versus Canaries, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
We're going to go for Leeds versus the Canaries. It ain't nout.
Peacock fucks up a canary, doesn't it? Easy.
Of course.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
And then,
don't take a peacock down a mine, though, it'd be
useless.
It'd be bulky.
Yeah.
What would be the nearest celebrity? There aren't really any celebrity peacocks. I'm trying to think. It would be like Rod Hull attacking Delia Smith.
Jamie Peacock played for the Rhinos.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't put Delia Smith up against. Maybe
rugby player kicks an aging chef to death.
Maybe that's a challenge for old Jake. Because, I think Jake Humphries and Jamie Peacock will probably... he don't really have because, Humphries is all about the kind of positive mindset stuff, and there's a lot of that with rugby league players who do speak really well on it, but he doesn't seem to... do you think he knows that rugby league exists as a sport?
Who?
Jake Humphries.
Humphries. He's probably vaguely aware of it.
Played up north somewhere. Patronised. Anyway, move on.
He would stage the fight, though, in his own boxing ring, which he's had built in his house.
What's the point in having that if you can't have Jamie Peacock coming to
get the fucking shit out of you?
Him and Jamie Jones Buchanan doubling up on him. They turn up saying, "Oh, all right, you can bring Delia if you want."
And you fucking she can bring a fucking dinner.
Right,
as it goes. So yeah, he does address the fact that he's a Hull fan, but weirdly doesn't seem to hate Leeds.
Oh.
I don't dislike Leeds. I have nothing against Leeds. I think they're a very, very good club, and I do think they've got some brilliant fans. So it's going to be an absolute firecracker for atmosphere today, and I'm so looking forward to it. I'm sat here getting giddy about it. Can't wait to get down there. Today, we're at Ellen Road, home of Leeds United, and I'm so excited to see marching on together live in person. I know Hull fans and Leeds fans are sort of rivals, but it's like never walk alone. You just want to see it in person and soak the atmosphere up.
Right, so first tip, if we're doing this scheme where we're helping these young people, know your audience, I would say.
Well, he's
who's we, by the way? Because there's only him from what I can tell.
No.
All right.
He's with his family.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to this game with his mum and dad, and you'll hear, I think at least his mum in this clip, but then that's not good enough. He wants more generations involved. So he's got them on speakerphone. You'll hear it in this next clip. Again, the enthusiasm's just amazing. I love it.
Now, Mother, the big question, will Willie Nonto be in the matchday squad?
Hopefully. See it.
Grandma!
Hello, Marcus.
You all right?
I'm fine, thank you. Are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Score predictions, Leeds United versus Norwich City tonight.
Yeah, well, I think Leeds at home, I think might win.
Oh, what score?
Oh, 3-2.
Ooh, I'll take that. Goalfest.
Hello.
Hello, Grandad, you all right?
Yeah, it's fine, thank you.
Good. Score predictions, Leeds United versus Norwich City.
I think Norwich will manage a draw. I'll go saying 1-1.
Ooh, that'll be all right.
Did he cut Grandad off because he started saying questionable things about immigrants after that?
No, they seem like a very nice family.
Oh, good.
They seem like a family who just want to be left to watch Talking Pictures TV in peace.
Grandma!
Oh, God.
There he is again. She was very world weary, wasn't she?
Mute the telly, put subtitles on. Yes, son. Yeah. Oh, Willie Nonto I've not seen the team yet. I don't know. Can we go now?
He's hugely enthusiastic.
Oh, there's somebody at the door. I have to go.
He loves Ellen Road as well.
Oh, good.
He really loves it, and he gives the pie a 6 out of 10 when he's in the West Stand for this. It's the bit where you get a free pie. I think.
Right.
It's sort of very, very vaguely corporate.
So basically,
not at all.
You're
really.
paying 60 quid and you get a pie.
And from where he's sat as well, he's at the back, so you can kind of just see the far touch line.
But if he's from Hull, that's the sort of luxury he's never experienced before.
That is true. That is true. But this is the Bamford goal going in anyway, and him enjoying that.
Get them for atmosphere. What a goal that was, honestly. Honestly, that cross there. He's had a few chances as well as Patrick Bamford. Look, he's a good striker. People have their opinions. But for me, he's one of the best in the division. On his day, in form, incredible. And when that goal went in, that noise, fair enough. Can't really complain with that, can you?
He's not a Hull fan, this boy. He's a Leeds fan.
He's going to have. I'm just picturing his gran and granddad getting the goal alerts and going, "Oh, that phone's going to ring in a minute."
Thankfully, you don't get a decent signal at Ellen Road, do you? You'd be on the phone. Grandma, they've scored! Right.
I know.
It's Bamford. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something in the oven. I have to call you back.
It's my head. Right. Where are we going now?
So, gets to half time, and
obviously, he's from Holy Hates Leeds.
On the back of us making friends and being lovely people, helping out opposition fans.
He's surely not going around telling everybody he's a whole fan, is he?
I don't know, but he's got more nice things to say about Leeds.
A lot of people say things about Leeds fans, but honestly, everyone I've seen or I look at smile back at you. Honestly, some of the nicest people I've met here, helping my dad get to places. Genuinely, it's really, really nice.
There you go. He's so happy, and then presumably he's in the West Stand as well.
Yes.
Oh wow.
He's having a lovely day. He's having the time of his bloody life.
You'll never, Gran. You'll never believe it. People in Leeds smile.
They've got these white things in their head in Leeds.
It's not like all. Yeah, same colour as the phone boxes. It's like.
Anyway, this enthusiasm continues, and I think actually this is, generally speaking, I'm a good 80% behind him on enthusiasm, but this is Rutter's nutmeg, and I think he does make the right noise for this.
Jorginho Rutter may just be the best championship footballer I've ever seen. Honestly. How is he in here?
That was a similar noise to the one I made.
Anyway, so it's all over and done with.
Yep.
This is his outro, and sadly, as everyone in Leeds may have been nice and smiling at him, but he was having trouble with the pie. There was some footage of him eating it, and he was kind of going, "Oh, that's a bit spicy." It's got
pepper in it. We don't have pepper in it all.
It looked like a meat pie as well, so I don't know why it was spicy. I don't know if they've seen him coming and they've been like, smile at him while you put some stuff in his fucking pie.
Here we go.
Well, I'm going to keep this outro brief because that pie has absolutely done me in. I just wanted to say a massive thank you to the lay-bys on the way back from Leeds for accompanying me whilst I spewed up everywhere. Massively appreciated. The game itself, I'll be honest, was actually quality, honestly. Although it was only a one-goal game, it was fantastic to watch end to end. And honestly, up until the very final whistle, anything could have happened. I thought Norwich could have got back into the game. There was points I thought Leeds would win 4-0. I thought Norwich could have won. It was a brilliant game, an absolutely incredible atmosphere. Honestly, Leeds and Norwich fans, fantastic. I think one of, if not the best atmospheric game I've ever seen. Genuinely fantastic.
Wow, sheltered life. I've had a meat pie, Grandma. I've had a meat pie, Grandma. I've never had out as fancy in my life. It didn't sit well with my stomach.
We all came back in here and went,
yeah,
it was
pretty meh. But they've got to remember, he's just given 6 out of 10 to a meat pie that he's puked all down the M62. So he's rating things, the rating on a curve, he's pretty positive about most things. Well, I was in hospital for a month, but I still give it 3 out of 10.
So I've got a clip of Robert Smith,
yes,
to finish on here, because it just reminded me of his enthusiasm and appreciation of that game. Reminded me a little bit of The Cure being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the contrast between it's a very American style of presenting and a very English man.
Hey, how are you? I'm Carrie. It's so nice to meet you. Hi. Congratulations, The Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
We were very much Robert Smith in this game.
That line is delivered with the same sort of smile I imagined that he was getting in the West Stand as well. He's jumping around all giddly in his tiger onesie, and it was like,
yeah,
that pie, yeah. No, it's one of the special ones that we keep in a box. We've been waiting for you for a couple of months.
Yeah, you know that there were fans, I think, last year who were still getting served drinks in Euro 96 cups. I wonder if he's got the Euro 96 pies.
I'd have loved a Euro 96 cup.
Yeah,
I'd have kept that.
It's probably still some around. Go and ask at the East End.
Right, can we go from one enthusiastic child to another? Alex Griffin, because you've put this one on the sheet. I'm fascinated to see what this sounds like.
Oh, well, this is the Ipswich fan. He was at the game with his mum and dad. he was quite good. I've not included it, but pre-game he was going around the pub asking people for score prediction. They're all like going 6-0, 4-0. I think we're going to win 5-0.
Piss off, son.
And then they lost, obviously. So this is outside the ground. He's speaking to a child who sounds initially upset, and then by the end of it, he sounds like just a League One manager going through the motions.
We could have been about 4-0 up in the first half, but we weren't. And like Duncan said, an amazing finish to make it 1-0. And, you know, second half, we started much better, got a goal back. We thought it would just be better, and then Mento gives the ball away, run through, you know, score. And it's just such a gut-wrenching feeling to, you know, lose to a team like Maidstone. But like you said, all credit to them. The fans are amazing, but it's a real tough pill to take. But we go again at Preston, but, you know, we focus on the league.
He has his channel in interviews, isn't he?
He's obviously heard enough interviews that he goes, just need to get in that their fans were good. Full respect to them.
Fall back on my media training.
It's very disappointing. But at the end of the day, we've got a big league game coming up, so we just need to focus on that.
Forest Green are interested in replacing Troy Deeney.
Put in that child.
Bit more diplomacy.
Should we hear from Maidstone fans then after their victory?
Yeah, bless them. So the big win. I mean, Ipswich are a big-ish team, aren't they, I suppose? Good win, but...
I quite like their pre-match attitude. They were trying to explain that they were a bit disappointed that they didn't get a Premier League team straight away. But then I think there was also the fact that Ipswich isn't that far. That's good. And then also beatable. And they came around the idea of like, oh, well, actually, we could beat them. So that would be even better than just having a big away day and losing, or bringing like Manchester City down and getting battered by them. And came to pass.
Yeah, and someone had a really fun day falling off the upper tier. Did you see that as well? Someone like rolled down the... Do we know if they're okay?
It's the people he landed on that probably had a bigger problem.
Yeah.
It was interesting. An interesting way to celebrate a goal. But yeah, this is the...
Actually, just on that, because have you seen the footage from the side? Have you seen the footage from his friends?
Oh, no.
So they see him... It's the way it cuts off that's really good. They're all kind of celebrating together, and then he goes on that... the slopey bit that goes between the two tiers at Ipswich. And they're like, haha, look where he is. And then he slides down and rolls off the end. And then they're like, oh, shit. And then they're kind of laughing. And then the last cut you see is a police officer. Just comes from stage right. I was like, right, yes, this is actually a problem, isn't it?
Anyway, I hope you're all right. So this is the Maidstone fans.
Yeah, so it's the classic footage you always get of like low league team. They're awaiting the draw.
They've gathered together in the clubhouse. They're all watching it on telly.
The sort of ideal clip for this is like, you know, Liverpool away, for example. Everyone can go mad.
Yeah. And they've been waiting as well because the draw was originally supposed to be straight after West Brom Wolves, but because of the awful scenes,
they were so naughty, weren't they?
It was delayed until half time in the Liverpool game because they needed that full quarter an hour of kissing Klopp's arse. So they were like, oh, we'll have to move the FA Cup draw. So they've been waiting all afternoon for this.
And this is what they got.
Man City. Number 7.
The prospect of going to Coventry or Sheffield.
You start off when a crowd turns nasty during a cup draw, is it? When it kicks someone's head in. Fuck off! No! God, why?
Right.
Why did we even win?
They'll just have to win again. I mean, they can beat Sheffield Wednesday, surely. Coventry, maybe.
Yeah,
so you're relying on Sheffield Wednesday to beat Coventry, but go on, Maidstone.
They've got a chance, haven't they? They've got a chance.
BBC Radio Wales.
Stick with a bit of FA Cup magic, shall we?
Yes.
What it's all about. This is from BBC Radio Wales, and commentators not necessarily here in the crowd.
It's the Newport's scum game.
Yeah.
For clarity.
That position. Anthony's the greatest is the latest chant from the... Oh no, it's not greatest, sorry. Apologies. If you understand that.
It's the fact that it's so clear.
Oh, no, they're not singing them.
No, they're not. And apologies if you've heard some controversial language there and so on and so forth. Bloody hell.
He's not the greatest either.
No.
He's actually, even if we leave aside his personal life, he's a dreadful footballer and a horrible-looking man too. So
he's got a classic scum face, though.
He really does have a bad scum face. But yeah, thankfully, scum fans also hate him because they've spent £90 million on him and he's shit. So that's good. Shall we go to see what's going on in Huddersfield?
Let's, because we know how much they enjoyed having Darren Moore around.
Yeah, we'll go for a classic throwback, remembering via Chris HTAFC Green as he enjoyed his day out at Elland Road.
It's now 3-0 to Leeds United. We're fucking wank! Darren Moore, fuck off out of our club! You fucking rubbish manager! Should have kept Neil Warnock! We're fucking rubbish! 3-0 to Leeds United. They deserve it though. We're fucking wank! Darren Moore's shite army!
Gives it plenty of gusto.
Yeah, but he's not on his own channel, but he was on with Pricey, was Chris.
Right.
And Pricey's mum actually makes an appearance with what is a very, very Huddersfieldy request midway through this, which is picked up on his live stream.
We're at the bottom of the National League.
Bear with us, Chris.
Yes? Yes.
We're at the National League. Just bear with me just for a second. Sorry.
Yes, I'm just doing something at the moment and I'll take him out. Yes, Mum, I'm busy at the moment. Yes, I know, I've got my watch on.
Let's take the dog out.
Take the dog out.
Take the dog out. What are you going to do? Take him down the
down
the bingo.
Down the old Chinese for a night or something.
Yeah.
Little date.
Bit of bingo.
Be nice. Yeah. Have a nice evening out together. Maybe a few drinks before.
Yeah.
Go out, have a meal.
Get a room in the travel lodge.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Whatever it is you want to do.
She's all dressed up for you. You can't leave her waiting.
Right. Anyway,
just to bring the last two themes together, Neil Warnock has been interviewed by The Athletic today, just in case anybody wants to.
So first Humphreys and now Warnock. Or do we need to have a word with Phil here?
If anyone wants to consider their subscriptions, talking about the job offers. I've had everything from Championship through to League Two. There were some tempting offers among them, but I also fancied having that time with the family for Christmas, and also my 75th. And then if something cropped up in February, maybe we'll have a look at that. And he's being prodded into talking about Sharon. Oh yeah, she'd gladly have you sent back to work. And then he goes with, and this is all ties together. I did think Manchester United might have come in by now, but not a peep.
I don't think Huddersfield want him. From listening to, I listened to quite a bit of Huddersfield manager chat, and the owner seems to have said they want someone for this year and next year, which obviously isn't Warnock. So maybe Warnock gets it in another month's time once they've appointed Nathan Jones and decided he's not very good.
I don't actually know who has written this. Just going through, but he's talking about how he had Christmas in Cornwall. So it was a novelty for us all. We also had a few drops of snow, which is unusual for Cornwall. It only lasted 5 minutes, but that was nice on Christmas Day.
There's enough Warnock interview data that ChatGPT would be able to easily produce a Neil Warnock interview.
But the response to that, the next line is, that idyllic scene feels a million miles away from a career in management. 5 minutes of snow on Christmas. That's not idyllic. It's rubbish.
It's not
5 minutes of pissing snow.
Yeah, it's not sticky.
On a mild Christmas. Oh dear. Anyway.
But anyway, they get back onto the manager chat anyway, and we're back to Chris.
He's had the time. 3 wins out of 23 games now in all competitions. 3 wins out of 23 call competitions, and yet he's still got an employment. This is pathetic, this club. Huddersfield Town have a shite board. Does this board have fucking dementia?
This board's just completely, utterly shit. I think they're just there for the money.
Is it about time that we maybe organise something to ransack the stadium? And this is all said in jokes, in joke fashion. Is it about time that we vandalise our own stadium?
That got a bit sinister, didn't it?
It's definitely the laugh of an arsonist.
Yeah, you reckon?
I'm joking, of course.
Another update from Cornwall.
Oh, go on.
Christ. That was obviously before they'd sacked Darren Mower as well.
Neil and Sharon have discovered a love of cycling and plan to be back out on the counties lanes soon once the weather improves. We've just bought this little sidecar thing for the dog, Monty, so we can drag him along behind us.
He put some cycling videos on YouTube, didn't he, Warnock?
Yeah, and that really...
That's just made me think of the National Lampoons where they strap the dog to the rear bumper.
That's really,
the summer vacation.
There's a moderately creepy one of him, somebody trying to overtake him in a car on the lanes of wherever he was at the time. I think he must have been up at Middlesbrough. Also, we've got an update on Amy. Comes with him to Plymouth, where he's made sure that I made sure Ian Foster don't mind me going along. Now Shuey's gone to Stoke. It's a lovely club who are punching above their weight, wages-wise. Amy comes with me. She's a chip off the old block. She'd like to stand up and have a real go at some of them referees. Jeez, imagine if you're the referee at a Plymouth game and you hear that familiar voice, hey, ref, and then you hear it doubled and you see there's two of them.
We did years back when we did the Warnock.
Have you met me daughter?
We did the
I'm his daughter.
It went to 4 parts, didn't it? The Neil Warnock thing, and we did spot a likeness. I think you described it. The genes are strong with that nose or something.
Yeah,
That's what you said.
It is it's a characteristic that comes through. But just to clinch this,
completely hairless though.
Might we see a return to the dugout soon? Well, we'll know in the next 2 or 3 weeks, won't we? What I will say is, if I come back into management, it'll be because I feel I can make people smile.
Well, there you go. Should we end with a bit of...
Oh, God, actually, I've just got to the actual... So, the last line of the actual thing, which is written by whichever athletic scribe has come up with this, those bike rides with Monty tagging along might just have to wait after all.
Anyway.
I don't know if I like football anymore.
It's not football. It exists outside football.
This will remind you why you like football. It's the swearing megamix of Chris as Darren Mowers.
Sorry for delaying this with
Shite Army. Lost at Ellen Road.
Fucking wank! Fuck off out of that club! You fucking rubbish manager! Fucking rubbish! Wank! Shite Army!
I love the little crack in his voice. It's just, it hints at a deep lying despair.
Yep, as Neil said, that's what football should be about. Make the fans smile and give them something to cheer.
Right then, we'll wrap it up there then. Shite Army. We'll see you soon.
The Square Ball Podcast.